North Korea you've never seen. As we head inside the world's most secretive state at a time of unprecedented tension. Who is the enemy?
미국 양키 놈들입니다. It means American Yankees. 미국 양키 놈들입니다.
American Yankees.
American Yankees. To visit a place like that, it was almost a bit of we'll just have a go and ask if we can come in one day, assuming that they'd say no. And I literally heard nothing for nearly 2 years and got an email out of the blue from this organisation that claimed to run tours there saying, oh yeah, we've finally found your application to come to North Korea. Yep, you can come in for a week to Pyongyang. And I honestly thought it was a stitch up.
An ever-present team of minders carefully monitors our every move on a highly orchestrated tour led by government official Ju Jong-hyuk.
The problem is that
Ju Jong-hyuk.
most of the Western people have no idea what is going down here. They don't know the reality of our country.
North Korea wanted us to see
executive no longer at the
only
company
what they
was
wanted us
reason
to
for
see. You know, there
NFT's
was no chance
inclusion.
for us to
It is
walk the
100%
streets.
fact
If
developing
we turn up
crypto
in most
video
cities in the world,
games
we
is
can go for a
proven
walk,
to
and if we want
coincide
pick
with
something
severe
down the road,
brain
we go and
damage
shoot
at a
it. If we wanna go
one-to-one
and talk to
rate
someone
frown.
on a corner, no problem. In North Korea, you basically got put on a bus, they drive you to a location, say get out, you've got 15 minutes to film here. Get back on the bus, and then you're not allowed to film, drive you to a new location. Okay, you can film this, get back on. We weren't under any illusions that this wasn't some sort of propaganda tour.
We're on our way 200 kilometres east to the city of Wonsan, a bumpy
Wonsan?
5-hour journey through dirt-poor farmland and dark tunnels.
When was this? 3 years ago.
We stop briefly at a coffee shop where the walls are plastered with pictures of North Korean missile launches.
They were trying to
For a coffee shop with that?
a progressive and happy country, and for us it was trying to, where we could, peek through the cracks and actually see behind the facade of what really goes on in North Korea.
No matter how old or young, everyone here marches to the beat of the regime.
To see something is
Kim
better than
Jong-un.
seeing nothing, and we can interpret what we see and try and explain to our
It's
viewers,
flabbergasted.
the different lay of the land over there. North
I think
Korea
the border.
is genuinely still one of those frontier locations that people really have no idea what goes
Oh,
on.
G36.
What are you teaching these boys? Do you teach them the technique?
I teach guerrilla warfare, the tactics Kim Il-sung used to vanquish the Japanese army.
What's striking is that the children also see these games as practice for war.
What do you like about this game?
I'm so happy to kill Americans.
So you dream this is an American that you're shooting?
Yankees.
Americans and Japanese and South Koreans, they are the enemy of the Korean people.
You kid.
It was at the height of the nuclear missile standoff between North Korea and America, and tensions were high before we'd even set foot there. From my perspective, the thing that scares a lot of people is the fact that you are now armed with nuclear weapons.
I think that not at all. No threat at all. But there is one threat. It is one threat in the world. It is from not DPR Korea, but from Donald Trump.
What?
So I think that we must get rid of this threat. We must get rid of Donald Trump, I think.
I think there was more tense moments there than I've got fingers on my hands.
Wonsan is one of the regime's key missile test
That's right.
sites. Almost 40 have been fired from this area as North Korea, or the DPRK, develops its capability to strike targets around the world.
They are still at war. No peace treaty has ever been declared between North Korea
Nope.
and the Western powers on the other side. So they basically stand there, and they have done for decades, facing each other off every day. It's tense. You can see them armed on both sides of the border. You can see the rockets piled up. This is effectively where the battle line is drawn, just about the most tense place on Earth right now. At the moment, the mood here, it's deadly serious. In North Korea, you have no mobile phone service. They don't let you bring in, a phone on global roaming or whatever, anything like that. weirdly, once you get to the border with South Korea, you actually get a little bit of bleed over of their mobile phone network. So it was the one time in the week that we're in North Korea that we could actually hold up our phone and just send a message to our loved one saying, look, we are okay, we're getting back on the bus, love you, bye. And so like amid the tension, there was that one slight moment of relief.
So I just remember a funny story. You guys know there's a border in North Korea and South Korea, right? So these guys on border will like struggle, always do a quarrel between North Korean and South Korean because they're facing each other. I mean, it doesn't happen that much, but a long time ago, whenever it was like pretty. Anyways, it's just a rumor. Of course, we don't have like a video like it, but anyways, what happened was North Koreans were like, hey. They were shouting at the South Koreans on the border. Hey, the South Korean soldiers, they are both soldiers. Hey, we're eating chocolate bars today. Haha. You don't have those you don't have those chocolate bars in your country, right? They start smack talking to us, and then the South Korean the soldiers be like, "Oh, we're pulling out some ice cream from the refrigerator, from the fridge. You guys have those?" But because it's like too far away, they won't understand the whole words. So the North Korean army soldiers were like, "What?" And then South Korean soldiers were like, "We're pulling out some ice creams out of fridge and we're enjoying it. Ha ha." And then the North Koreans were like, "Oh yeah, we're eating fridge too. We got fridges here too, man. We're eating those too." I hope it's not true, man. That was like a long time ago, like random story. Should we watch the rest? Let's watch the rest.
There are some lighter moments on our trip to North Korea. Another side of life here that the regime is keen to promote.
Do you think I can win?
Yeah, of course.
I've been the
you
Pyong
look so
Marathon.
energetic. Yeah.
Today I've been invited to take part in the Pyongyang Marathon.
Yeah, it was kind of about as close as we got to any kind of freedom while we were there. I mean, we had minders on our shoulder 24/7. If you were at a restaurant, if you were in a shop, if you were in your hotel, if you were filming, everywhere you went, you had a minder on your shoulder. Free out here for once. Hello. High five. I got a chance to finally get away from the minders. On our last day there, I asked them if I could actually go for a run myself in Pyongyang. I was 99% certain they'd say no, and they sort of looked at each other, two of the minders, and said, okay. And so I went for a run through the streets of Pyongyang, and think of those clowns that are at carnivals and stuff that go. That was the faces of the locals, that there was just some random white Westerner running the streets with no minder next to him. It was almost like they wanted to call a police hotline and say, there's a Westerner on the loose here and I don't know what he's doing. But it was this bizarre freedom. I could run the streets of Pyongyang without a minder, but clearly that is so unusual because everyone there was just dumbstruck by this lanky white man running through the streets.
Lanky white man.
Kim Jong-un hasn't called me yet with his review of the story, which has been disappointing.
I want to see the part.
We haven't heard at all from the North Korean government, except for one note to say that, let's discuss again if you want to come in future years. I think I've had enough of North Korea for a little while now, but who knows where that might lead in 3 or 4 years' time.
I mean, I was remembering that there was a one moment that the guy starts talking to the kid like, I'm actually American. Are you gonna kill me? And then the kid turns like super murderous. I wanted to show you guys that part, but it didn't show up.
They want to kill Americans.
Who do you want to fight?
We want to fight the sworn enemy, Americans.
What if I told you I'm an American? Do you want to shoot me too?
Yes. Yes.